Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me on Their Fight Story. I have Lachinov with us, and he is back and ready for some great information on his experience these past couple months. Hey Cameron, how are you?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Tell us, last time we spoke, you talked about something that was going to be coming up for you, but you weren't really sure if you could let us know. So obviously, the whole world knows now that you were on TUF29. How does it feel?
It feels great, amazing feeling, great experience. Met a bunch of studs, the world's best coaches and best athletes, and just it's the best experience for a fighter to go through. Thing that I went through with go into a tough into a crazy cuckoo house. Yeah, it was a great experience with the whole crew there.
Now, okay, this was your first Ramadan that changed as far as your fight style, because normally when this happens, you're able to adjust a little bit better. How was this different? Because you're now in a house full of all these different types of, people, energy. How was it?
Well, so for the first week, I fasted first week, and then while we were in the hotel, still I was by myself and stuff. And then going into the house, I said I'm gonna stop fasting now, and I'll take it. I'll consider it as a work. So you're kind of your excuse. If you're working, you don't have to fast, and if you're like more than 2 3 hours away. So I said I'm gonna make it up after the show, and so I stopped fasting. But the whole Ramadan experience is I missed the big that experience, just having the big table gatherings and
Mhm.
family every day, and most important, like for me, it was not being able to pray with like with the we call it like bunch of people gets together, and we pray at nights during Ramadan every night. I couldn't do that. I couldn't practice that. I was praying every day there, but it's different to pray with people than by yourself. So it was different. There was some negative side of it, but all in God's hands. It was God's plan. So look forward to make it up.
Now, you said you were training with all these great coaches. How was it different from your normal training? Like were you able to adjust? Hearing somebody else guide you through the process?
Yeah, I'm usually pretty easy. I'm coachable. If you ask Mizam, he would not say that, but or Jason. But no, it was good. Like I mean, you're not gonna change too much in 3 5 weeks. You understand that, and like imagine like you've been training for 10 years. You have this one style, and then boom, next day you wake up and somebody's trying to change it. That's not gonna happen. If you let it happen, then something wrong with you anyways. So for me it was like it was all good. First couple of days, like it was like, well, everybody's trying to adjust to each other and stuff, but other than that, nothing big, nothing crazy. The biggest thing for me was not having my own coaches and not having my game plan and all that. But you gotta adjust to what you have in your hand, and it was I believe it was good.
Is there anything that you would have liked to have changed during this process?
Um, Honestly, if God planned it this way, I wouldn't want to change it any other way. I don't know. I can't say, oh, I wish my hand wasn't broken. I wish my leg was stronger. I wish this was. No, it was. Everything happens for a reason. So I wouldn't want to change anything. I'm one of the people that say, hey, I have almost no regrets in my life, so I rather have it, live it and not make it or something than be like, oh, I'm gonna be super safe, not gonna go, not gonna fight this fighter, not gonna fight that fighter. and be like, in 5 years, oh, I wish I fought it, and you can't bring back the time anymore. So I'm one of those that I'm gonna take every chance that is out there, and I'm gonna challenge. I mean, I showed it. I went a different weight class. I came out of an injury maybe in 2 months into an injury that my hand was broken, and took the pins out in February, end of January, and then went to the show. So I couldn't leave any chances on the table, especially, coming from a UFC. So for me, if I was maybe 22-year-old, I would say, hey, I wouldn't say that, but if my coaches, I would probably listen to my coaches more. Where some of my coaches said that don't go, it's too early, your hand is still freshly
Mhm.
broken, and it's like don't rush, you'll have opportunities. But I'm 30 years old, so I'm like, I gotta be more realistic. I'm not 20 years old anymore. I'm not 22. I don't have that, 15, 20 years in front of me. So I definitely had a great time, and definitely met some great people there. And it was all worth it. I wouldn't change a thing.
Now, how I saw your expression on the selection process.
Like, what?
All
uh,
I kept thinking was, what, they saved the best for last.
yeah.
So, how did you? What was going through your mind?
I honestly, I'm mentally tough. So for me, it was like, whatever. I wasn't like, mentally broke down or anything.
Mhm.
I was like, it doesn't matter. There was fighters that, for example, Kelvin Gastelum actually wrote it. He texted me the other day. He posted me that I was picked last, and he was picked the last, and he won the whole show. So for me, it
Nice.
wasn't anything. And hey, it's a good thing I got to know Kelvin too.
Yes.
It was an honor for me. So it wasn't anything for me negative. For me, it's like, yeah, you don't want to be maybe the last pick. For me, hey, I was never picked first in anything. I was always the underdog. So for me, it was just another day in the office.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, people really don't know you. They don't know your style. They only see like bits and pieces. Um, but like the Cameron in the cage is one thing, Cameron outside the cage is another. But the real thing is, people don't really know you because you haven't really been able to be you completely in the cage.
Yeah.
It's never, people don't know the whole side of the fighter. So
Oh,
everything you're training for, everything you're
like I
doing.
said, I never blame them. Everybody. For me, I made it there. That was one of the biggest things. We had a bunch of people that actually got cut off, and somebody told me, I don't know, I could be wrong, don't quote me on that there was over 100 something people that were trying to get into the house. So like one of the fighters said that he knew that there was 120 applicants for that weight class to get into the house. So it's like, hey, I'm happy to be in there, and then once you make it to whoever's team it is. I wanted to be in Brian's team, like, because we FaceTime with Brian by literally, it was like by accident. He picked up my call. He didn't know. I didn't know anything, and we chatted on his Instagram, social media, day before of the actual picks. And so I wanted to be on Brian's team, and I'm happy I was on Brian's team. He's definitely a genuine person, and he's just very humble and very funny. Had some crazy stories, but you know, he's settling. Brian's settling. uh,
It's so funny. Tell us, how was the feeling of being in the fights? Was it completely different from the other platforms you've been on, or was it just like a normal day?
because of the COVID, I think it kind of took away that crazy adrenaline and everything. It would kind of like. I mean, I can't describe how much I hate COVID right now. That like took the fans like so. We were at the fights. We were even at UFC fights. It's like a practice. It's like you lose that the crazy drive, the adrenaline is not there because there isn't no fans, there isn't anything
Mhm.
that usually most of the fighters get driven by. For me, I love fans, I love people, I love the crowd. Even if it's I'm getting hit and people is screaming and going nuts and they're loving it, I love that. So for me it was kind of like a downside that we didn't have that. But it's part of the show, everybody goes through it. It's whatever is for me with same thing for my opponent and the other teammates. I wish there was fans, but they never had fans anyways for the show. But so it was a great experience. Some things maybe I'll talk more later what wasn't so great and it wasn't so good of whatever they did it there. But I'll keep my mouth shut until I get that contract. I'm not gonna talk shit about UFC. I'll tell you that much. It's not about UFC. But yeah, no, it was some of the things you think and be like, really $1 billion company and you don't have $2 to buy freaking a cup of coffee or like something like small and that would like get you going. Like I'm like, what the heck? Like we had some crazy moments in the house. Just I can't imagine what the crew members, the production thought of us. They probably thought they were the craziest motherfuckers out there because we would start making a drama of not drama, but we would start giving them a hard time of even a little things. When they tell you can't have this, but you can have a lobster, you can have anything you want in your fridge. Then you start going like, hey, I want black caviar in my freaking fridge tomorrow. But yeah, just training twice a day, morning. It was for us afternoon and night practice sessions. It was a great experience. I love. I did that before with a couple of my fights when I was in a team. What do you call? AKA, I went to for the camp to San Jose,
Mhm.
and I was training twice a day. Great thing, just amazing. And here in the Cuckoo House and the Tough House, it was literally you train in the afternoon, you come back around 3 o'clock. In a good scenario, probably come back at 5 most of the times, but and then you eat, get some rest, and go back to training. And then it's like from 6 7 p.m. till midnight you train there.
Mhm.
Get your 3 5 and fit ins, what we call it. But then you realize how much it's affecting you, that you just focus on that. So you have no phone, you have no TV, you have no books, no
Mhm.
freaking music, anything. All you do is focus on your training, focus on yourself, and you take notes. You can bring a pen and paper and notebook. You take notes and you go over the notes after the training, and that's a game changer. And especially having such a great coaches. I was just blessed. I was very happy to meet all the coaches, Jason, Tiki, Paul, Hannah Gracie, Andy, every guy that was there, Mikey. We had guys that who were helping us with the breathing techniques,
Mhm.
guys that helping us with cardio and physicals, and guys with jujitsu. I mean, we had the man himself, Henner Gracie, and so it was like for me, it was like, oh man, let me play with this. The definitely a once a lifetime experience. And all I can tell to whoever will be watching or listening, hey guys, don't hesitate. Whatever chance you have, always take it and use it. You know, I'm not saying always risk and always put your life in crazy situations, but Don't be that guy that always plays safe, like, oh, this guy has a good record, I'm not
Mhm.
gonna fight him. Oh, this guy is strong, he's crazy, I'm not gonna fight him. Don't be that guy. Put up some challenges and challenge yourself, and that's the only way to grow. That's the only way to get better. So for me, it was definitely, this was a challenge. I loved it. I definitely came out of that tough show as a better person. Maybe maybe a little crazier,
Oh
but
no.
yeah, I mean, imagine living with 16, it's like 15 people, and I'm the 16 crazy guys in the same house. We had like we had guys 3 4 a.m. going crazy in the house, and we had no doors. Like, I
Oh
was like,
wow.
really? No doors, and freaking living room that everybody gathered together, play poker or play freaking cards, and pool is right almost next to us. It's like, damn it. I mean, some guys didn't even have any AC in their room. Like, I can't even, like,
Wow.
I can't, like, that's when I was like, really, bro? Like, I don't know. Hey, if it was me, this wouldn't be this easy. But they went through the whole show with no AC. They had a freaking
Wow.
$13 fan in their room that were blowing hot air from one point to another point in the room. That's about it. I had to duct tape the whole ceiling because in our room the AC was blowing like it was a freaking commercial fridge. Like, you couldn't sleep. One thing. Second thing, you couldn't sleep because it was so loud. The air blowing. All you could hear is like a hard wind coming down. So I was like, "Hey, can I have some duct tape and cardboard?" They're like, "What do you need that for?" I'm like, "Just bring it. I'm gonna show it to you." So I put a cardboard over and taped it many times, and because it was literally that cold at nights, our room would get super cold, and two rooms after us would be like a freaking 95 degrees. They couldn't sleep. So I don't know. We had some crazy moments in there.
That's
I
great.
just hope they don't show everything that went down in their in the house. I may have to change my whole facial so the people don't realize who is this crazy guy.
That is crazy. Now you had to sacrifice a lot for your fights, for training and everything. How was that different from this particular
Well,
prep?
this one was just not another level, because most of the times, yeah, I know I put a lot of sacrifices. I mean, every athlete does.
Mhm.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, somebody called.
That's okay.
The boss called. um, so the difference between the sacrifices I did before and now is way bigger, because I didn't get to talk to my family. I didn't get to have any connection with the family, and it was just it was rough because I didn't do anything. I couldn't work. I couldn't help. I couldn't do anything with the. It was me locked in a prison. I say that it was a luxury prison training facility. So, and my family went through a lot. Like, I was always helping my brother's business, and I was always there. Like, I'm still there. Like, but once I left, we had my cousin left the office too, so it was nobody in the office. So where
Oh,
my sister-in-law had to step up, and she was helping there with everything, and all the because of the openings, the the job increase was like 300%. The volume went up, and he goes like, dude, the stuff we did in last 10 years, we probably did it in this freaking 50 days and 40 days. He's like, you picked the worst time of the 10 years, you picked the worst time to leave. I'm like, well, how would I know? But yeah, I had to leave a lot on the table. just leaving my wife and newborn and just helping. Yes, my family was there, her family was there, but still, like, mentally, physically, you need like support, and especially with this crazy monkey always going nuts 24/7, doesn't want to sleep. I'm thinking to actually start sleeping in the room next to our room, because this guy doesn't let me sleep. I start missing the cuckoo house, like, I'm like, can I go back to the tough house, please? Even though when I was there, I was like waiting. I'm like, can't wait to go back home. It was crazy how much we had to leave on the table and go, and just, I don't know, if we were sitting there, and like our last days, we're talking with the guys, like, who would do this for another 5 weeks for like $50,000 or $10,000? I was like, I'm not doing it even for 50,000. I'm not staying there. You crazy? Maybe another time. Like, maybe, when I know everything is a little better settled. Yes, I wouldn't mind going back to the house and doing the same thing. But after being there for 5 weeks, mentally, probably you go nuts if we stay there for another couple of weeks. Thank God we didn't have big, bad drama. We had some drama. You may want to look into it. Nobody killed no one. That's what I say. Thank God. Nobody got pregnant. That's a good thing. Even though if it was all males, there was chance. Shout out to my boy. Not telling who, yeah. Oh man, yo, Jason.
Now, when you went in, you had to change your weight class.
Yep.
Was it any like different for you? I mean, I know it's a different weight class, but did you felt better? Did you feel like, nah, this is really not where I want to be?
I mean, the weight cut was easy for me. That I can tell you that. Obviously, not cutting that another 15 pounds. But the fighting thing, I mean, I wouldn't say it was like a big thing for me. Like, oh man, I'm definitely not doing it. I'm looking forward fighting at 185. I don't recall anything that I would be like, oh no, this is not my weight class. No, it was. I wouldn't mind being there with my fat ass walking around 215 and 210. I mean, I gotta fight at 185. My biggest issue is like I gotta recover and come up to at least like once a lifetime have a fight where I'm physically healthy before my fight. I know it's impossible, and I know all the fighters go to the fight like 99% of the fighters have injuries before their fights. So like I want to have that experience where I go into a fight, don't have any injuries. It's like, can I feel what it feels like not have any injuries before your fight?
I'm sure your mother must be thinking the same thing.
We're not talking about that. I have a broken hand, and I still walk around with no cast and anything until like after the surgery, maybe. And there's no freaking way. She doesn't even know that I went to a fighting show. I was like, it was just reality show. They're they're casting, recording everything, how we train and what we go through. And she goes like, why would you do that? You crazy? Like, you don't need that. I'm like, yeah, mom. Oops. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So I'm back. Yep. So it was like, like, yeah, mom, it's just reality show, don't worry. It's all. Sorry.
You're good.
The boss is calling now. Stop.
The boss needs to be watching the live, is what he needs to be doing. I'm not calling you.
Not that boss. The wife is calling.
I, th- I thought you said.
Yeah, no,
Okay, she's the boss. She really is. Okay.
that boss. And she's like, "Is everything okay? Where are you? What's going on?" I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah, you need to
I'm getting,
respond.
yeah, I'm getting interviewed. It's okay."
Oh my goodness, she's too funny. Oh my goodness. So on the show, you mentioned that you miss getting punched in the face.
Yeah, we were in the hotel for 7, 8 days. The only thing you could do is run, and it's like you had like a 1 hour pass to go out, run outside, and dude, I would take that pass, make it 2 hours, and run to Vegas. And then after a while, it's like, come on, let's get some action. Like I want to grapple, I want to train, and then we moved into the house, and it was like our first 2 3 days. It was like freaking media days with the freaking pictures, the interviews, and signing and all that. It was like, hey, can we freaking get some workout in? Like, no, 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 tomorrow, and we got fed with tomorrows for a couple of days. And then when they asked me, I'm like, dude, I miss getting punched. And it's like, come on, I want to train. Like that motivates me.
Oh my goodness. So you took the chance of going to the house, right? And was how did it feel getting that call or your coach is telling you, hey, by the way, you got selected? Because this has been a dream of yours, hasn't it?
Yes, it was definitely one of the, I would say a goal as a, the career goal that, you want to get into UFC and stuff. So this was one of the doors, so that you have to go through it. And for me, it was like that crazy, super exciting moment. Like I was kind of lost. I'm like, is this real? Like, is this legit? Like nothing's gonna change last minute, because like I said before on one of a couple of my interviews, like I always wanted to go to the tough show. Like I was told that, yeah, they're trying to get me in, and I was at the door, and it didn't happen. There was a couple of shows. There was different guys went, and
Mhm.
so for me, it was like, I was like, whatever I want to go, like even, like it's 185, I'm gonna go at 185, whatever it is. And once I got it, I was super excited. Shout out to my boy Tyson with top management, made it happen. Thank you, brother. He had a big factor that, that I was in there, helped a lot. One of the best coaches, and one of the best, definitely, managers out there. Thank you, Tyson, and shout out to Top Game Management again. So it was definitely a good move.
So this must have felt really, really important to you as far as that goal that you accomplished, because before you came here to the States, you wanted to be a professional soccer player. And that
Eh,
didn't happen. And now this is happening for you.
I'm gonna make so much money that I'm gonna buy my own freaking soccer. I have that another goal right now.
Nice.
Uh, yeah, oh, definitely that. Um, uh, Soccer, being a soccer player was the dream, and I was the little boy that slept with a freaking ball and cried when he couldn't make it to practices. And but
Aww.
it was, meant to be. I guess the world turned around. I wouldn't imagine myself not thinking or watching a soccer or not playing soccer for a day, and now turned out to be the other way around, where I'm, putting everything around the, fighting and everything. And honestly, till this day, I love soccer. I love watching it and everything. I love more participating in it, but um, it's not that safe anymore for this old guy. You get injured more. So I stopped playing that often. I used to play like twice or 3 times a week now, like, whenever, maybe twice a month.
Oh, gee.
But everything changes, everything happens for a reason. I just go with the flow.
Yeah. How how would you tell people, or what would you tell? I know you were mentioning before, like the don't give up, take chances, don't be afraid. What else would you like to let people know? Whether it's either, it could be both, as far as you as the fighter letting other fighters know, or you as a son letting the parents know, like, hey.
Well, me as a son letting parents know that you should support your kids in sports. You should help them, sometimes when, even if they're not doing well, maybe you should be there, just push them a little forward, help them, or just be that wall that he can lean backwards. And, you know, obviously sometimes it's better where we see it, hey, this is not the sport you want to go into, or like, I mean, it's different, but going into something and just because your kid is failing and he can't do it, you shouldn't discourage him, and you shouldn't stop or take him out of that sport. Instead, maybe you should help him or try to see what you can do and how you can help him to get better. And definitely, I just go back to the same thing. Just because you fail, you should never stop. Fail is nothing. You don't fail, you learn, you
Mhm.
learn. But the biggest problem is when people quit. That's a
Yeah.
failure for, just because you lost, it doesn't mean that, it's end of the world. Just because you got injured, yes, you got to be smart. You can't be like, hey, I keep getting injured in the same place, and I'm gonna keep doing it because I believe that this is not, destiny. I'm gonna be smarter than that, and I'm just gonna, like, don't be me. Don't break your hand 3 times in the same place, and give your body a time to recover. But listen to your body, obviously, and just work, 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 and either sooner or later it's gonna pay off. I had a lot of moments like, where I thought maybe I should stop, like it's my body's giving up. I'm getting too many injuries. But then when I listened to coaches, shout out to Marco Alvin and Jason Franklin and all the coaches that told me, hey, maybe you should let your freaking body rest and let's see how you're going to do it. You recover and wait for it. And then, maybe you can fight for a couple more years and break other hand or something. The don't kill yourself going through it, but don't be easy on yourself either. Don't be that little, you know what, I had it enough, I can't, I gotta take a freaking vacation. It's like, no, you keep moving forward, you keep pushing, 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 but you just gotta listen to your body, obviously. And for me, the biggest thing was, hey, you'd be surprised if you put every day literally a $1 aside, and you'd be surprised after 10 years what you have, how rich you are. Same thing with anything you do, like it could be sport, it could be business, it could be anything in life. Just most important thing, just be consistent. Put one, at least 1%, half a percent every day into something that you believe in and something you want, something you dream of, something that is goal of yours. And just don't stop, keep working towards it. You can, for even a financial thing, oh, you want to have a house and the house is $500,000, but you can afford it. All you can do is maybe afford $100,000 house. Maybe you should start saving instead of going and partying every weekend and spending 60-70% of your income and on partying, and then spending rest on the bills. Maybe you should save and spend on the bills. Yes, suffer now and live rest of your life like a champion, like Muhammad Ali said. So
How do you know what your limits are?
when I'm laying on the surgery table, that's how I know. That's how I know. I think that the mind and the body didn't work out together. So Yeah, I personally like to extend those limits. It's kind of mental too. Like, it's in your head. Like, some people be like, oh, you can only do 10 push-ups, and some people can do 1,000 push-ups nonstop because they've been training. So you can actually train your body to do some certain moves and certain activities. So as long as you train, don't do it. Just don't act like you want to become a champion overnight. Don't be that stupid guy that is, "Oh, I watch Connor and I think I'm gonna be the next Connor. I'm gonna go walk, get knocked out." No, don't be that stupid guy. And you know just because it doesn't happen, like, oh, you may have a lot of belief in yourself, and like, just because you lost or didn't happen doesn't mean that you should stop. Just like I said, keep investing in yourself, day by day, minute by minute, second by second. Remember that it's your life, and there's nothing better that you can invest by yourself. So for me, how I know my limit, I try to see. Well, sometimes I'm kind of late on that one, but you learn by the time you go in. Well,
Oh my goodness. So you are a professional fighter. You are also giving financial advice to people. Is there anything else that you want to share before we conclude with your interview?
yes, make a family. Make a family. Have a great family. Enjoy the family. Most important thing is family, and don't forget. Um, you will not find anything more important than family in this life. Yes, we do have one or two bad apples in the family. Everybody has. So it's like, don't, because of some of the bad apples, the rotten apples I call them, don't forget that family is number one. So just have your limits on everything, and just keep working towards your goals and dreams. In this country, it's probably, sooner the better. You get chance if you have a dream and goal and set up some kind of a plan. mm, you're gonna reach your goal, and you're gonna get what you striving for. And just have a plan, most important, and just work towards it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cameron. I really appreciate your time. Send my
Thank you.
love to the family, and we hope to see you
Thank
where
you.
you need to be.
My wife may call you because she's been calling me a lot. I'm like, hey, call the doctor. It was her that I was getting interviewed. Uh,
Thank you so much, Cameron. Have a wonderful day. God bless you.
thank you, Iggy. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, and I can't wait to be on another show with you.
We're
Thank
looking forward to it.
you.
Thank you. Bye.